Hello, family. We are outside, as you can see today. Centurion, where?
Yeah.
Vierre Park?
No, Royeskraal.
Royeskraal. Okay.
Did you kiss yourself here somewhere?
This is love, family. As you can see, this is love.
There we go.
And what we have on the table, what are these, Tshepo?
Those are blueberries.
Okay, and they act as what?
Aphrodisiac. Everything that I have here, it's an aphrodisiac actually, just to work on your happy hormones.
You know when you see Tshepo, you know when you see Tshepo and Prophet
So I
Gladwell
prepared it just
Zabane.
for you so that you can just work on your hormones and on your mind. Get blood flowing. The only thing I'm missing is chilies.
Okay. I'm in between two strangers and I'm going to find out who they are today. We're talking to men and we are saying to all men that are out there, especially South African men, we've heard there's a research that has been going out, making rounds, that our South African men are sexually starved. Okay, she's nodding. Is it true? Yes. Okay, let's find out. And I told you that I am with Pastor Gladwell Zabane there, and I'm with Tshepo Phiri. And we're talking to men today. It's all about men. It's all about you. And I hope that at the end of today, okay, should I talk to ladies or men?
You're talking to everybody. You're talking to everybody. Everybody with genitals, we talk to them.
Oh my, that's Tshepo. That's Tshepo for you. But I believe that at the end of the day, you will be able to perform the right way. You'll be able to satisfy your spouse. And yeah, let's go to it. How are you doing, Tshepo?
I'm fantastic. I am excited, as always, to be...
And as beautiful as you always are.
I try.
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I am blessed. Yes. Now we are talking about Ronaldo aphrodisiac that people didn't see. This is what I'm drinking today. Is there alcohol?
No, there's no alcohol.
Okay.
I can get you some if you want, but I'm just sorry. I don't know if I must get dry red wine for you all. But I'm like, you know what? We might just get too happy.
Yeah.
So let me just...
drinks
No. This is actually a what do you call it? Pomegranate?
Okay.
Yeah,
pomegranate.
Yes.
Pomegranate.
That's how you pronounce it.
All
yes.
Right. Is
it also an aphrodisiac and the fruit itself.
Okay.
It is a powerful aphrodisiac.
Okay. Let's go straight to it. You're a woman, Tshepo. Most men would come, and I would hear Muruti also addressing both men and women. We're coming to you, Muruti. But like, what makes women tired of giving it to their husbands?
For one, let's just talk about nature. Naturally, men do have a higher testosterone level compared to women. So that's why their sex drive is a bit higher than the women. Secondly, things have shifted. Women are now working full-time jobs. Some of them are doing shifts, some of them are doing overtime. You get home, you must still, cater to the kids' needs, you must still run the household. And at the end of the day, you must still now cater to your partner. So that's a lot of what the women have to deal with on the daily basis. Now they are tired. But nothing much has changed on the sides of men. They still don't come to the other side and assist with, let me do the homework and watch the kids while you cooking, or while I'm cooking, you take care of the kids, so that at the end of the day, you will have energy for us later on. So women are tired because they're juggling a lot of things. We already know that women wear a lot of hats. You're an aunt, you're a nurse, you are a cook, you are everything. So that's why even women get more sick than men, because they are juggling a lot of things. And when it comes to the bedroom stuff, it stays there, the back burner with cellulite and everything else. Like, you will get to it when you get to it, unfortunately. But it now creates a bit of a riff-raff in the bedroom, because the man's libido or sexual drive is still high.
He's still energized.
And as a woman, you've got all these other things that are preoccupying your mind. and sex is like ugh.
Do you agree with
Sleep wins over sex any day. Because when you sit on the couch, you're like, can I just put my feet up? And then over this is like, how lava. Okay, I'm gonna be touching you a lot.
No, but I want us to go to him.
Okay.
Do you agree with what Tshepo is saying, that women are overworked, and that's the reason why? Okay, she's talking from a woman's perspective.
Right.
From a man's perspective.
Yeah, look, I would agree with the first part where she's talked about the testosterone. Look, as men, you know, we are built and wired to hunt.
Right.
And you know, our bodies are built in such a way that they're always producing, sperm, and so you have to excrete from time to time. You know, you have to release.
Is it a must?
It has to.
It is.
From time to time.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
It is.
What is
Even
time to
if
time?
you
What is time
don't-
to time?
No. Look, you can't really count on it and say
Yeah.
so many times a day,
Yes.
so many times a week. However, whenever it happens, because with us men it happens anytime, and we have different stimuli that actually stimulate us to start thinking about that, and then from time to time, then you want to go for it. You see. So but
So wait. Meaning that a man would be sitting on a sofa, on a couch, or driving and
No, not necessarily. What
Okay.
happens is if you
That is like really
don't
scary.
get into
Okay.
contact with a partner,
Uh.
or you don't
how long?
masturbate. It differs from person to person, honestly.
Okay.
But that's when now you get what do you call it? When you wake up in the morning
yes.
and then you have
Morning,
ejaculated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So whether
Wet
you
dreams.
yes, wet dreams.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't even get any wet dreams. Like
Yeah.
you don't dream of anything, but you find that you did ejaculate. So whether you assist your body or not, it's still gonna come out because it needs to manufacture new sperm.
As a matter of fact, as a man, you wake up with an erection every morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, every morning with you.
How many times does a man think about sex? Okay, I think that is the you won't know, Tap. Don't even guess.
I didn't, but I know it's supposedly more than the women, but I think the women are also we think about it.
We
quite
do
a
think
lot,
about
but,
it.
But the men a lot because they're more visual than they can
Oh, yeah,
turn
no,
on by
that's
visual
true.
than
That's
anything
true.
else.
Yeah.
So what would you say? How many times for a man?
Look, it's difficult to say exactly how many times, but many times a day. We
Every second.
We think about it almost all the time because almost everything makes us think of it. So we think about it all the time. That's why we look at you guys all the time. When you walk by, we look at you and stuff like that, and then the imagination starts going wild.
Now, do men really believe that women get tired and they need to rest before they can even give their bodies?
Well, look, a lot of men still have to be, educated and informed on that part, so that they understand exactly. That's why even the Bible says, learn to live with your wife according to understanding. So you've got to understand the woman, understand, how she thinks, understand how she feels, all the hormonal stuff that's going on with the women. You've got to understand all of that so that you can then be able to come on board with her and assist her with, household chores and stuff like that. And also the other thing is that, women need a lot of affection. Am I right?
You're correct.
Yeah.
Very correct.
So, as a man, you've got to be there for her, and show that affection for her and be there for her. Because the other thing is, I think, most people get too serious, especially when they get into the marriage part of things.
They do.
Like,
they stop playing.
Yes, like I always say,
stop playing.
when you listen to people when they get married, they will always be telling you bahulaya. They say, marriage is serious stuff. Né? This is not child's play. And the moment, they are psyching you up to get serious all the time about it. So that
I heard of this one where the husband himself said, we used to date. Now you're going to cook at home. We used to go out for the movies. We got a TV and some, movies that we can watch at home. Now you're going to cook and we're no longer going out. That is over. You are a wife now.
Oh, wow.
So
wow.
people do stop playing.
Oh yeah, no, that's how we are taught. When we get into marriage, we are taught to be serious. We are taught to take everything seriously.
I remember just after I just gotten married, I was approached by another elderly woman, telling me that how can I dress like that as a
married woman?
That's my husband. I'm bringing shame to my husband. And it hit home. And I went to my husband. I'm like, do you want me to change my dress code? It's like, hell no. You know, if you do that, then you're changing how things are. Unless you want to change.
He's comfortable with you the way you are.
Yes. So I had to go back to that mama, and I told her, you know what? I spoke to my husband,
my
and he
husband
said,
loves us.
if ever I wear anything that is long and it covers my skin, he's gonna divorce me. So I'm just like this because I'm trying to save my marriage. That was the only way I could even explain to her. But it does put women under pressure.
No,
after
right.
they get into marriage.
Yeah.
People kind of change and they get into this seriousness. They
Serious.
don't
I don't know
out
what
anymore.
is marriage now then to them once they get married.
Yeah, look, it's once again, it's a lack of knowledge and a lack of understanding.
Right.
You know, and another thing is it's the approach towards life when it becomes too serious from the very outset. I mean, look, before we even talk marriage, the very question of sex itself, you know, it's treated with such seriousness. And
Oh, we don't
sensitivity.
even want to say it with the word.
Not really.
No.
You see now.
No.
And that
You never
that
talk about it.
No, you don't. And I did tell you that even with me, I never had conversation about sex with my mother. And what I know now, I'm now the one teaching her about certain things when it comes to sexuality and sensuality. And you can tell that, you know what, it's like, oh my God. And I feel like, well, like after when you get married, and I think, you know, they used to do that where they'll take a woman and they will prepare her. Women will prepare her
But
for
a
marriage.
man,
No, they will prepare men. The men will take the man.
Okay.
And prepare
Not all
him.
cultures though.
You
No,
know,
not all cultures.
and
Not
then
all
they will
cultures.
come together. Now, if we could just go back to that, now you're googling things.
But you see, the other thing about it is that, you know, because of this lack of conversation around you know, the sex thing, a lot of women come into marriage with you know, a misunderstanding of the whole sex activity because they look at it as something that is to be used to satisfy the men. So now, as a result, it's not something that they look forward to enjoy, to pleasure themselves with.
Yeah.
So as a result, it's like a household chore.
Yeah.
And
So that's why we would have a man saying, "My wife just sleeps there,
Yeah,
does
just
nothing.
lies there.
I have to do
Yes.
everything."
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know.
So with just going back to women being tired, remember, for us women, we have sex with mind, body, and spirit. So if they're not all in sync, if your mind is not in it, your body is not gonna come into play. So when you're tired, your mind is already saying, I'm exhausted, I had a very long day. Sex is the last thing on my mind right now. Now you as a man, you need to also come on board to assist and saying, what can I do to take the burden off? Or what can I do to help you or re-energize you? One of those things can be
But
taking a
help
bath together.
one way.
You know?
Yeah.
Secondly, I always tell the men that foreplay does not only start in the bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
It starts
No.
from the moment you wake up and you leave him for work, both of you.
What
and
you say
throughout
to
the
each
day,
other.
yes.
Okay.
So, but you find couples talking about, oh yeah, please, you have to go pay electricity. Okay, yes, those
What are
things
we
are
eating
important.
today?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Why
But
are
we
you
never,
wearing that?
yes. So they don't seduce each other throughout the day and send each other pictures. And you look forward to
Wait,
coming
and
home.
I think that's what we do when we are in relationships. isn't it?
Yes,
Oh,
you
yeah,
do,
I
my
Because
darling.
you wanna-
When you are
you wanna
in
woo-
a good, when you're still in a relationship, you're jolling, you wear even matching bra and underwear, you know, push up bra, the girls are showing a little bit, you know. And then now when you're married, you want to do stuff pipe.
But then you see,
Even you
that's-
take off your
Why
wig in front of him.
stuff
Where
pipe?
before you never took off your wig in front of him. But that's another topic for another day. But my point is, for a woman now to for her to
Oh,
gravitate
you
towards
put
saying
that mask on
no
your face.
to your partner because you're already thinking, one, I'm already not in the mood for it. I'm tired. I'm not in that space. So when you are like that, your body is not going to be aroused. When you're not aroused, you're not going to get wet. When you're not wet, sex is going to be painful. And you're tired. Sometimes he wants you to be on top. You're thinking, I'm not about to be bringing energy into this thing. In fact, I'd rather bend over and have you just work and then I can go to sleep. Now it becomes a chore.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, definitely. You see, you look at it even from the approach, from the relationship point of view. You know, the way that people are advised with regard to behavior when they're in relationships. People are advised to, especially Christian people, are advised to behave in a manner that brings this serious element into the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it makes you behave like an old person, and you're still young. Even the dress code,
Yes.
you know, it's dictated to as to what you should wear, what you should not wear,
Yeah.
and how you should get dressed and stuff like that. And I think the other thing is that people are really scared of sex and talking about sex.
People are scared of sex because they don't understand their own sexuality and sensuality.
True.
So
True.
they will see things on the magazines, they'll see things on the videos, and you're thinking, am I really going to do this? In fact, I might as well not even do anything at all.
So you would say that the information that we get from the magazines and everything else, the porn, it's distorted. It's not what it is.
I mean, you can
what
even
it's
watch a
supposed to
soapy.
be.
Have you seen in a soapy? It's
Yeah.
so passionate.
Yeah.
You know, there's
And
no
you want that.
abs.
You want that steamy.
You want that perfect.
Yeah.
You know,
But to
she's wearing
create that-
this and.
To create that, you know, you've got to set the stage for that. It doesn't
Yes.
just happen.
No, it does not just happen, you know? And at that time, there's no minutes of like, oh, let me get a lubricant. Oh, you know what? You can't unhook this bra, so let's turn around a little bit. Let me unhook you. I mean, in a normal relationship, you
Those
get
kind
things
of
like that.
things, yeah.
And there can be a bit of a party pooper at that particular, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right. But yeah, so the
So
thing, what we see on
most of the
TV
people go into marriage with the wrong mind
With the wrong
about
mind,
what
yes.
sex is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's why at the end another one is tired and another
Yes.
one. But no. Wait, guys. There are those ones who would engage before they settle down, right? And everything is hunky dory.
Yes.
Everything is pashash.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, another one is starved and another one is complaining. Another one goes out to even
Yes.
look for sex somewhere else.
Yes.
What went wrong there?
Nothing went wrong. It's just that now the relationship priorities have changed. That's like also if you get married, everything is fun, you're flexible to do everything else, and then come the kids. Priorities change. So you're not as flexible as you used to. Now your relationship is much more deeper. What used to turn you on then about him is different. What used to make you tick, that's why you need to understand your own sexuality at what turns you on. And then you can be able to communicate that to your partner. But half the time now, you used to, before you got married, you were active, it was fun, and then you get into marriage. It may be fun for the first couple of months, let's say maybe 6-7 months is still fun, and it kind of dies down a little bit because now you're prioritizing other things. You're talking about now finances, talking about, okay, are we going to be moving into a new house, the spaces, you know, all of those things that were never an issue because you were individuals. Now you're sharing everything.
Tshepo, I hear you.
So,
But should it go for 2 years?
To
That
do
a
what?
man who doesn't get anything from the wife, he knows.
I'll
no,
tell
then
you-
something is not right if that's it.
But you know that there are couples, many
I know
actually.
there are couples
I'll
like
tell you.
that.
I'll tell you why it happens like that. You see, the thing is, it becomes a habit.
Yes.
It turns into a habit. You see.
Oh, like you
And
said,
a
it
routine.
becomes a chore.
Yeah,
It's a routine, it's a habit,
it
nothing
becomes
new.
a routine and a habit. You see. So, like I'm saying, I always, I like what she said because I always say the same thing.
Yeah.
That when people get married, the attitude changes.
Yes.
And then once the attitude changes, you go into this serious mode. You start psyching yourself up to deal only with serious stuff. The question of foreplay, for instance.
Serious
Yes.
stuff. Yeah.
Do you know that, for instance, many people don't know or understand their own bodies because
Yes.
they don't touch
Yes.
themselves.
Yes.
There are people who are even scared to look at themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
Yeah.
So you don't know your own body. You don't understand your own body. You don't
Definitely.
understand how it works.
Yeah.
How then do you satisfy another person?
Yes.
So you've got to be playful about the whole thing. That's what makes it fun in the first place. That's what makes it interesting in the first place.
On that note, I come across a lot of men and women in the church
Yes.
that are not married, right? And I will urge them because when I do my workshop, they'll say, no, I can't be coming to your workshop because I'm not married. And I say ignorance is not bliss.
True.
Ne?
True.
And I always encourage them and I say, when you're single, you are in the best position to be your best lover. To explore and understand your body, touch your body, so that by the time you meet your partner and you get married and now you have to now come together into the bedroom, it's easy for you to navigate him on where what is and what turns you on.
Yeah.
Unlike waiting for him to be the one to turn you on. And chances are you both not virgins. You come in with
Oh
your
no,
other
I have friends.
experiences,
I
and
have
then they bring
friends,
that.
Tshepo, who
Yeah.
got married. They were both virgins, and
Okay.
the man says it was horrible.
It will.
He says it was
No, it
horrible.
will.
And then he says, I went to my pastor and my pastor couldn't even explain it to me. Then I had to now find books and teach
And-
myself.
For information elsewhere.
You see? But then you don't have to wait for that. You can be on that journey so that by the time, remember, we're sexual beings. Just because you're touching yourself and it actually feels good, it's yours. Let it feel good. You like it. There's nothing wrong with it. And now that's where
Because we're talking-
spiritual and
Yeah, that's where I want Muruti to come in.
But isn't that haram? You know, and we have been raised that way. Don't
Yes.
touch that area. You are a very,
Phela
very bad
phumphunisa.
child. You will only do
Yeah.
it when you are washing.
Yeah.
You know, and yet again we expect a stranger, and when I say stranger, I'm talking about your partner, to come
Because he is a
and
stranger.
make you understand and teach you about your body. And I feel that is a very unfair expectation.
No, it
Okay,
is.
Muruti.
Look,
I'm very, very
I've known-
passionate about
About
this.
that one.
I've known a couple who where the lady, before she, they would engage
Yeah.
in sex, she had to, in fact, not even engage before they would go to bed.
They would
She
have to pray.
No, she would go into the bedroom first, get undressed, and then get into
The blankets.
the blankets, and cover herself up,
Yes.
and then the husband will come, and she would keep the lights off. So the husband would come, and she would prefer him to undress in the dark, and then come inside. And it took them quite a bit of time before they actually started to engage. And for them to do that, the husband had to literally stand in front of her naked, with an erection.
Yeah.
And she had to look at his erection, and he was like, "Oh, what are you doing to me?" And he had to say, "No, you gotta get used to this.
Yes.
This is how things are going to be." So I'm saying the way that we have been taught has really done a lot of damage, especially to our sexuality. And it makes people be afraid of their bodies. It makes people be afraid of accepting the fact that we are sexual beings.
Yes.
And so we try not to think about that most of the time, And as a result, it creates a situation where even in marriage, people don't create enough time,
No.
to
No.
engage sexually, to play, and to do all of those kind of things. It becomes something that becomes relegated to
Yes.
when we do have time, or when the
Yes.
other one is like really desperate.
Yes.
Then we will start engaging.
When we need a child.
Or when we need absolutely.
When there's a child that has to come.
Then-
Otherwise, Mzalwane,
No.
And that's not the way it's supposed to be. That's not even how the Bible teaches us to behave. We need to learn to do things differently, and we need to learn the right way of doing things. You see, one of the other important things that I think you'll agree with me is we need to learn to prioritize things the right way.
Yes.
And in doing so, we then need to learn to say, I've got to look at the number of activities that I get myself involved in, because sometimes we take too much.
Yes.
And that leaves you exhausted. That leaves you tired at the end of the day. And sometimes, you take on so much in a day that you don't even have, time to plan for with your spouse. So that also contributes towards the situation that we find ourselves in, where you find that men complain of being sexually starved.
Yes.
Yeah, so I fully agree with what Muruti just said right now in terms of prioritizing intimate moments with your spouse, because it does become an afterthought. Already there's so many things that require our attention, and we tend to neglect the things that really matters and prioritize things that, it can wait. I always say, dishes can wait.
Yes.
Laundry can wait, But spending time with your spouse, that's the time that you have with them. And when you've been in a long-term relationship, things kind of shrivels off. You're not always all up in each other's faces. You're not always so touchy and whatnot. But I always tell married couples that have been married for a long time that they need to schedule sex. And there's nothing wrong with scheduling sex.
Shouldn't it be spontaneous?
If you're going to think it's going to be spontaneous in a 9-year marriage, you're not going to have sex.
No, I agree.
You are not
So
going
you
to
tell,
have sex.
You tell your spouse, or you agree with your spouse?
Yes,
that
you say on this day it's our
on
Mapuna day.
Tuesdays.
Tuesday is our Mapuna day, and you will look at your calendar. Actually, you know what? Tuesday is a much more milder day. I get home, at this time, whatever. And then you both agree on that. The nice thing about scheduling sex is when you wake up in the morning, you are already psyched up. in your head that, you know what, today is the
Like,
Mapona day,
Yes.
you know, and throughout the day you send each other messages like, oh, okay, are you ready? You know, if you're at work, you can just go into the bathroom and take a nice sexy selfie and send it to him. You know, you can
No,
call it,
our black
you know,
women don't do that.
but you better do it because you're stimulating his mind. It's an occasion.
And a man is a...
Yes.
Yeah, but the other thing also is you need to consider quickies at the same time.
Yeah.
They work.
They work.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got
For women.
kids. Especially when you have kids. I always say,
Oh, yeah. No,
Well,
they
for
work.
women, do they work?
no, they do work.
Okay.
They do work. It's just that I'll give you an example of another
So it
lady who
means
was
that
saying,
you need to be already on that
it's
level
nice
when
to, but you
come
must
for a
not
quickie.
now be having 90% of the
Yes,
time in Nadi Quickie
yes,
fella.
yes.
You need to balance it. Sometimes you really just want to have a one-on-one session with your partner. And just because we're talking about the bedroom, it doesn't have to end up with intercourse. Because every time we talk about sex, it's intercourse all the time. But it doesn't have to because now you're prioritizing Mapona Day. You know, so I was telling you that you prioritize that day. So from the word go in the morning, hubby's like, yo, I want to get you flowers. I'm going to get chocolates, your favorite thing. So you are already engaging. You know, you can even send 3 sex positions and say, okay, which one are we doing today? Oh, okay, so are we going to be using a flavored lubricant, or are we doing massage? Oh no, I feel like a massage today. You know, so even if when you choose a certain sex position and you find that it will require you to put a bit of effort, there will be some aerobics that is needed in there. You are prepared. You don't just come in the house and the person's like already grabbing you and what using. No, you come there, you prepared. If you've got kids, you take them away, you know, or you ask your neighbor to look after the kids.
Okay.
Or sometimes I always say, you know, sex in a different bedroom, it feels like it's a new sex, like a new relationship. So I say it doesn't even have to be in a very expensive hotel.
Wait, as we are summing up, what makes it boring? What
The
makes
routine,
sense?
Routine.
the
What
habit.
Makes it- like now you know, okay, I'm going to undress her.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Yeah.
undress
Routine.
him.
Anything that becomes a
I'm going to
routine
kiss
gets
here,
boring.
And then she gets excited, otherwise...
Oh,
Then
yeah.
go
Yeah,
kiss
because-
a different. Remember, we are also creatures of habit.
Yeah.
So we're comfortable in our habits. The way you kiss today is the way you'll kiss 5 years
All
from
the
now.
time, yes.
It never changes. But you have to wire your mind that you are going to do something different.
And the other thing also is don't get into the routine of, doing it at the same time.
Yes.
Always at night, always
In
the
bed.
evening.
Intact.
Yes.
You gotta
Yeah.
do it
But
sometime.
now we have wives who are saying, just get it over and done with. Who just like that?
No, then
Yeah.
help is
Satisfy
needed there.
yourself.
Yeah.
Some intervention is needed there because there's a serious problem there. That's not how things ought to be.
But I think that is also part of being sexually starved for the
Yes,
men.
yes.
Because I want it to be
Because even
there.
the
I
men
want
want
it
you
be
to
present.
engage with it, yeah.
But from a man's perspective, look, let me not say from a man's perspective. Let me just say to bring in some advice, actually, to the brothers. Look, ladies are attached to everything in and around their lives,
Yes.
emotionally and affectionately. So if there are issues that need to be discussed and sorted out, get those discussed and sorted out, rather than coming to her while these issues are still outstanding and they're hanging in there. Her mind is not into the
Yes,
whole thing.
yes.
Resolve first
Yeah.
the men.
Resolve first
Yes.
the matter.
I mean, if we've got issues in our relationship,
Yes.
and then yet again you still want me to give you me.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's-
I can't
That's
give
gonna be
you
a
me
problem.
because because my mind, my emotions, you
They're
upset
somewhere
me, you did
else.
something that really, really hurt me. I can't. So some things need to be ironed out. If it means having a counselor, let it be
Yes.
so. Do you understand? And there's nothing wrong with seeking outside advice, as long as it's somebody who's going to give you good advice, not, Mutluhele Chomi. Not good advice.
And it also makes use of aphrodisiacs, like,
Exactly. You get to know what stimulates you. And I was telling you, get it. You know what? Sometimes, water it's relaxing and it's very healing.
Yeah.
So if you find that you're always so tired or you're depressed or you're not okay in the head, go take a shower together. It doesn't mean that you are going to end up with sex inside, but just being in the shower together and you're kissing and you're touching each other. Yes, he'll have a hard on. Just because he has a hard on doesn't mean it has to end up in your vagina.
Yeah.
It will just die off. It's still love. It's still prioritizing intimacy. And he will also appreciate that. Or you can sometimes even finish up the job without...
But can I add something quickly there? Ladies need to also be aware that as men we enjoy being touched,
Yes.
especially on the penis. You know, the penis really likes to be touched and stroked.
To be played with.
Yeah, so it doesn't always have to be penetration.
So you must start looking at it as like your little new toy. Hello.
Exactly. You know, start playing with
What
it.
are we gonna do today?
'Cause we
But
like that.
yeah, so it must be an occasion. I believe it's sexuality or sexual moments. They're supposed to be an
It has to be
occasion
enjoyed.
to
It has
look
to be
forward
enjoyed.
to, and even if it's going to be a surprise. And timing is everything.
Okay.
Timing is everything. Your partner must also know that if you're not a morning person, come on now.
No, exactly.
If
That's
the whole
exactly right.
4 o'clock in the morning thing does not necessarily work for everybody, but you may find that, you know what, by around 7 o'clock, that's when, and it does, like every woman, and actually everybody will enjoy sex in the morning because you're relaxed. Your body is relaxed, you know. Problem is the time of the morning. So if 4 o'clock is not your time, that's where somebody will say, I just rolled over and bent, and then you must just get over and done with, because you are tired, you know. It's not your you know, you were in la la land deep into your sleep. The last thing you want is strokes on your body, and you're already going, damn it. But when you ease your way into waking up into it, and you know, when you go, good morning, and you just start by touching each other's hands, you ease your way into, you know, now, I mean, that's you now, you end up turning.
They even go straight there. And
You see?
Yeah, you see,
So-
that's because of the way that we've been taught and trained that, you know, sex means penetration.
Yeah.
I mean, your whole body is a sexual tool.
It is.
You know,
it is a social
from
organ.
head to toe. You know, you gotta. I mean, look, the body's big. You know, you gotta be able to play with it from head to toe. So, once you psych yourself up to say it's gotta be inside, you're gonna have a serious problem.
Sure. Wow. Okay. I think we will have. Okay.
I think the next session I should bring some tools and equipment to show that it doesn't have to be intercourse, but this is what you can do.
Wow.
To assist.
Zabane and Tshepo.
We need all the help we can get.
Thank
Yes,
you.
yes.
I hope that we were able to can help our couples today.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope they.
And I hope you watch this with your partner and just giggle and laugh and have a conversation about it
Yes.
afterwards.
Be
It's nothing
playful about
serious.
it, man. Don't
Have
be too
some
serious.
aphrodisiacs in front of you.
Exactly.
You know, feed each other.
Tell us again.
Okay, these are the blueberries, these are strawberries, and I've got chocolate covered berries also here. This is dark chocolate. If you're going to be doing dark chocolate, I'll say do 70% cocoa because it's very good and it gives you energy. The nice thing about dark chocolate, it also gives you endurance and energy, so you're going to last a bit nice and long. Stamina.
Staying power.
No, biltong does not. I actually wanted chili biltong, but I chose the wrong one. But I was like, anything with chilies, it gets your blood flowing.
So, what do the berries do?
The berries, they're antioxidants.
Okay.
So they also get your blood flowing and they make you nice and sensitive.
Oh, okay.
And because they're juicy, for the men and women, your sperms or your pre-cums, they actually taste very nice and sweet. So even a woman, yes, you don't have to put perfumes down there.
She was telling women to eat more fruit.
Yes.
Citrus.
Yeah.
You need to eat citrus fruits,
Yeah, no, I agree.
a lot of
True,
those, and drink a lot of water, and then your vaginal fluids will also be actually nice and
That's
sweet.
also another point. Just to touch on it quickly, for a lot of guys, they need to understand the lady has to be wet down there.
Yes,
before the whole
please.
thing can take place.
Please.
Because it's the
Because
wetness.
if she's dry, it's tedious.
It's pain.
It's painful.
And she's not going to be interested in it any longer. So it's got to be
And it will
nice
take 4 or
and
5 days for her
Take
to
your time.
heal
Take your
also.
time.
Yeah, nice and there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong touching, you know, your private parts with your hand or with your mouth or with your tongue. Or with, absolutely nothing wrong.
Even
Yeah.
if you're a Christian.
Oh yes, it has nothing to do with that.
Especially when you're a Christian.
No, especially.
Because you know what, this is what I say to Christian people. I'm like, you know what, when you are going to go into a sexual activity with your partner, that's worship. The very same way when you worship and you give it your all, your heart, your mind, your everything, and we can see that, you know what, you're giving your everything to your maker.
It is worship.
When you are with your partner, give it your everything. Don't do just by the way.
Sure.
You know, it's either you in or you out. How don't start la mahala. Apola because you know I'm on a mission to give and to
worship.
receive. So I'm serving you. I'm worshiping
and as
you.
ladies,
I'm
you've got beautiful
catering.
bodies. You got to use those bodies
I
to.
gotta close you down. But thank you so much for loving our couples this much that you took your time to educate us on these important things.
All right.
When I get
It was a
married,
pleasure.
honey bunch.
Yeah.
When are you equipped?
Come back to us again.
When are you equipped?
I'm ready.
If you
Let's talk some more.
don't bring the pots, darling, I blame you.
Just tell us what you think, down there on our Facebook page and our YouTube. Just tell us what you think, and yeah, we can come back. We will come back with a round 2. Love you. Bye-bye.